Here we'll be looking at word problems that lead to quadratic equations, and we're just going to focus on the steps involved in solving word problems that lead to quadratic equations. The steps we're going to follow are: first, we're going to create a quadratic equation from the word problem. We're going to solve the quadratic equation and make deductions from the solutions to the word problem. So let's look at this example that we have here. The example reads, the product of two consecutive odd numbers is 255. What are the numbers? So let's look at the first number. Let's call that x. Then the next number, because it's a consecutive odd number, is going to be x plus 2. Now we're saying the product of these two numbers is 255. So x multiplied by x plus 2 is equal to 255. So now let's distribute this. We have x squared plus 2x equal to 255. Now we're going to subtract 255 from both sides. So x squared plus 2x minus 255 is equal to 0. Now you can apply any one of the different methods in solving quadratic equations. This is easily solvable, so I'm going to have the factors of negative 255 are 15 and 17, but we need them to be negative and the sum to be positive. So we have the negative sign here. So we have x minus 15 and then x plus 17 equal to 0. So now we're going to equate each one to 0. X minus 15 equal to 0. X plus 17 equal to 0. So x equal to 15. X equal to negative 17. Now if x is 15, x plus 2 is 17. If x is negative 17, x plus 2 is negative 15. So your numbers are 15 and 17, or negative 17 and negative 15. So here we have two numbers. Let's call first number, we call this x. Second number, we call this y. So the sum of these two numbers is 12. So x plus y equal to 12, and their product is 35. X, y equal to 35. So we're going to make one of these. We're going to solve for either x or y in the linear equation here. So we can say, therefore, x equal to 12 minus y. So we're going to substitute that in this product here. So this is 12 minus y times y equal to 35. So 12y minus y squared minus 35 equals to 0. So let's rearrange that. We have negative y squared plus 12y minus 35 equals to 0. So we're going to have negative y squared plus 5y plus 7y minus 35 equal to 0. So let's let's group this and factor them. So we have negative y, y minus 5, and then plus 7, y minus 5 equal to 0. So we have 7 minus y, y minus 5 equal to 0. So 7 minus y equal to 0, y minus 5 equal to 0. So y here is 7, y here is 5. So we're told that x equal to 12 minus y. In this case, x is 12 minus 7, which is 5. In this case, x is 12 minus 5, which is 7. So the two numbers are 5 and 7. Okay, the area of a rectangular field is 200 square meters and the perimeter is 180 square meters. Find the length and width of the field. So area is length times width. So perimeter is 2 multiplied by length plus width. So let's make these equations. Length times width is 2000. 2 length plus width is 180, which implies that length plus width equal to 90. So the length is equal to 90 minus width. So for the area, we're going to substitute. So 90 minus width multiplied by width equal to 2000. So we have 90w minus w squared equal to 2000. And we have minus w squared plus 90w minus 2000 equal to 0. Now you can use quadratic equation, but I like to use the regular distribution if possible. So minus w squared plus 50w plus 40w minus 2000 equal to 0. So let's have minus w here, w plus 50 plus 40w minus 50. Actually, this should be minus 50 here. So we have 40 minus w minus 50 equal to 0. So in this case, so we have 40 minus w equal to 0, w minus 50 equal to 0. So w is 40, w is 50, and L is 90 minus 40, which is 50, and L is 90 minus 50, which is 40. I'm just going to pick L is equal to 50, W equal to 40. I'm going to use that because I expect the length to be longer or greater dimension than the width, or longer than the width. Two squares have side P centimeters and P centimeters and P plus 5 centimeters. The sum of their squares is 625 square centimeters. So this is P squared. This is p plus 5 squared. So we're saying the sum of this is 625. So p squared plus 10p plus 25 is equal to 625. Subtract 25 here. We have 2p squared plus 10p equal to 600, and we can divide through by 2. So we have p squared plus 5p equal to 300, and we write as a quadratic equation. We have p squared plus 5p minus 300 equal to 0. Let's factor this. We have a positive sum and a negative product. So the positive sign is going to be on the greater number. So we have p and we have 15 here, p and 20. So we have this right here. So we have p minus 15 equal to 0, p plus 20 equal to 0. So p is 15 here, p is negative 20. Because a length cannot be negative, we ignore this and we say p plus 5 is 15 plus 5, which is 20. So let's go here and say sides are 15 cm and 20 centimeters. Now, final example. The length of a rectangle is 5 centimeters more than its width. Okay, so let's put a rectangle here. This is the width. The length is 5 centimeters more. If the area is 50, so width multiplied by length is equal to 50, which is the area. So w squared plus 5w equal to 50, which implies that w squared plus 5w minus 50 equal to 0. So let's look at, so we have w plus 10, w minus 5 equal to 0. So w is equal to 5, or w equal to negative 10. And if you're not sure how we get that, it's w plus 10 equal to 0, w minus 5 equal to 0, and you solve for w. So we're going to ignore this right here because dimensions cannot be negative. So the length is w plus 5, which is 5 plus 5 gives us 10. The width, which is w, and the perimeter, 2 multiplied by length plus width, which is going to give me 2. Length is 10 plus 5, which is 30 centimeters. So this is how you can manipulate word problems to generate quadratic equations.